Why is shift in this game, why is shift in this game caps lock?
An excellent question, to which I don't have an answer for. It wasn't in my FAQ, so I didn't have any time to prepare an answer.
The name didn't fit, but whatever.
What'd you name it? Oil paintings?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Didn't fit. I got oil pay. Or no, oil painty, I think.
Oil painty seeking. You could have named it oil paintin if you removed the space.
I forget. The Pokédex is not accurate with where it says Pokemon are, right?
Correct.
Okay.
In this game, the Gen 5 Pokemon would be the ones that show up.
Okay. Just because I ran into a trainer with a Drowsy and was curious as to where I might be able to catch one.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to whenever you do find a Drowsy or a Hypno, because I assume you want that on your team.
Yeah, even if it's a bad idea, I'm going to take it because it's my favorite. Mm-hmm. Might take a Coughing as well if I see it, just because that's my second favorite.
Likewise, if I see a Kecleon, that's an immediate get.
Where is this hidden item? No, it's over there.
Oh, that's the Shaking Grass patch? Ain't going back there.
Vibrava.
Yep, Vibrava is Dragon Ground.
That's not pseudo-legendary, right? It's just strong?
It is not pseudo, yes. Okay. That's correct.
That is correct and in the book.
It is in the book. Ah, Leech Life. I remember when you sucked life out of me.
It's pretty strong now, isn't it?
Yeah, 80 base power, I believe.
Yeah, they buffed the hell out of that.
Mm-hmm.
That used to be 20 base power?
Maybe a little less.
10? I think it might have been 10. In Gen 1, it was fucking atrocious. Mm-hmm. It was, one of 2 moves super effective against Psychic, though?
Yeah,
that
it was
Twin Needle?
Twin Needle, yep.
Yep, I think those were the only moves in the whole game super effective against Psychic. Because Ghost, there's only one Ghost move in the game that could be super effective. That's Lick. But due to a glitch, Lick actually does nothing to Psychic, and then Dark type didn't exist yet. Psychics were fucking ridiculous in Gen 1.
Mm-hmm.
Gen 1 balance is horrendous. Oh fuck, what did I just use? That Giga Drain? Ow. Oh, one shot. I got him. Didn't get much experience for that.
I don't know, should I keep Trick on my Snorunt just so I could potentially trick an item onto it?
What's Trick?
From wild Pokemon. Trick swaps what items each Pokemon is holding. So I'm wondering if I could do that to get an item from wild Pokemon.
Maybe? I mean, is it a move you have to use?
Yes.
Might not be worth it then. Thief is probably just better. I mean,
I guess I could give it a try.
Yeah, you probably don't have Thief of all random-ass moves, but...
Yeah. I can give it a try at some point once Snorunt is actually healed up.
Flame Orb. What's that do?
It burns you if you hold it.
Well, that sounds like a fucking dumb idea. I'm guessing it's just for
useful...
fling.
Kinda. You can use it for Fling, you can also use it for Facade, or anyone with the Guts ability.
Well, I do have Facade, but I don't think I'm going to do that just because I also have Acrobatics, and that requires no held item and is better.
Yeah. Fling will burn them if Flame Orb is used. Like, immediately.
Yeah.
And since there's no freezing-based equipable item, there's no way you can immediately freeze someone. Still.
Which is probably good because freeze is really powerful.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember if it works this way in other generations, but I know in Gen 1, when you are frozen, you just sit there until you die or until the enemy's dumb enough to use a fire move on you.
Gen 1 was pretty broken, to be fair.
Yep, Gen 1 is completely unfair in every fucking way. It's funny because... Oh god, I crashed. Are you kidding me? When was the last time I saved?
Probably
Okay,
before you caught Dratini.
Oh god, if I load a save, it's still busted. I gotta reload the whole emulator. I think, no, I did catch the Dratini by this point, I think. Fuck, I gotta save more often. This is insane. Quit the emulator. Oh god, I think I'm at the beginning of the forest. I gotta save more. I don't know how I keep forgetting. Maybe I gotta like put a hotkey for save on my controller so I can just fucking mash.
Yeah, that would help.
Like out of reflex. Yeah. That and that. Okay, it's not frozen now, but
you never caught.
I have Dratini.
What is it? You never caught Beldum, right?
No, and I did catch a Sea King, which I don't have now, but I probably wasn't gonna use it. Okay, I'm behind in like levels and shit, and a lot of trainer fights. God damn.
Speed up.
Yeah, I'm gonna hold turbo. Oh, I didn't catch Pansage yet. Let me try and get that. Oh, that was a misclick. Okay, and the Great Ball. There we go, caught Pansage, nice. Gonna hold turbo for a little while. By the way, everybody, just so you know, if we end up not being able to, like, if episodes end up taking a little while to come out every once in a while, don't worry, the series has not ended. I'm fairly confident that we're both into finishing this whole series.
Yep.
It literally is probably just a thing of our schedules don't match up, or I'm just too busy with Pokemon challenges. But like
that is definitely 100% going to be the case.
Yeah, like that's going to happen. There are going to be times where I'm simply too busy with that. Like I don't even want to record too long today, just because I need to I want to get a head start today on the Pokemon challenge I was just teasing for you guys. I want to get started it today if possible. It's just so here's a motivation thing that I recommend to people all the time, but especially if you work from home like I do, because if you work from home, you will end up with motivation issues. It's just kind of like a thing of humans aren't really... We're programmed to go to an area and then like be in work mode when we get to the area. We associate modes and moods with where we are. And so naturally, if you associate home with relaxation, it's really fucking hard to concentrate on work. There's all kinds of distractions on your computer and, oh, I guess I'm a little bit hungry. I'll go to the kitchen and have something to eat. And like, it's so easy to get distracted, right? So that's why YouTubers tend to be not very productive. And that's something I've tried to fix for a long time. One of the best things I've ever done to fix it is, I learned this on Skillshare, actually. Not sponsored, by the way, but Skillshare is awesome. I have a Word document called To Do Tomorrow, where I have bullet points of non-reoccurring things that I have to do the next day. So I have today, the day after, and the day after that. So what I do is I write down a list of things that I want to get done that are not recurring, like not like brush your teeth, have a shower, like it can be things you do once a week maybe, but not like maintenance things you do every day. Because if you load it up with that, then you overload your list and you're no longer interested in doing it. So what you do is you write down all the things you want to get done the next day, because it's easy to say, I'll do this later. That's easy to do because you're not doing it right now. That's what people are bad at. All right, I'm caught up. There we go. I wasn't as far behind as I thought. So you write down all the things you want to do the next day, and then you write down all the stuff for the day after that. And then when tomorrow hits, you just shift the whole list. So, tomorrow becomes today. And then you add your stuff for like the day that is now no longer filled out. And then you do all the things, because people like checking off checklists. And it gives you, you feel morally obligated to do the whole list. And it makes it way easier. So that's like a motivation thing I really recommend to people. It's made working out easier. It's made my vocal training easier. It's made keeping on top of all kinds of things easier. It's like a calendar kind of thing, Like it's also how I remember these recording sessions, because I just write down, one of my things for today is record Pokemon White Randomizer with whattageek after 4 p.m. Eastern. That's what I had written down. And, I just check the list every time I go to check it off, and I just remind myself of what there is. Are you still live, by the way?
Yeah, I'm still going.
Okay, just making sure there was a moment where I'm like, wait a minute. Did the
How long
internet die?
have you been rambling?
Yeah. No, I was worried the internet was... Oh, hold on.
Also, this is fucking bullshit. Geodude's other ability is not Truant, and this trainer's Geodude doesn't have Truant.
That is bullshit. Also, Dino can learn Giga Drain, and it's fucking tempting to replace Heal Bell with Giga Drain, but Heal Bell works for the whole team.
Yeah, do that. It does, but you'll have very few instances where Heal Bell will be useful.
Yeah. Also, in
other news,
fairness, my memory is so bad that I will never end up using Heal Bell for people on my team.
In other news, I got to Castelia, and I got the Eviolite, so my defense and special defense on any of my non-evolved things is going to be pretty good.
I didn't look at what move was used, but I just okay, for a second I thought... Okay, it was Outrage carrying over. For a second I thought that Snubbull just killed himself, and it gave me confusion. Oh. I mean, I'd be pretty confused too, if I just watched my opponent kill themselves and not hurt me. I got a Dragon Skull. Oh, right, I don't need to speed up now. Sweet. Castelia is Bugtown, right?
Yeah, it is Bugtown.
Okay. Oh yeah, whattageek's gonna be looking over my scripts now before I read them, so I might say things less dumbly. Don't count on it, though. I think I should just make a rule where when you look over my script, just phonetically write down in parentheses next to Pokemon names if they're 4th gen or past. Just in case.
Okay, I'll do that. Yeah,
If it's gen 1, 2, or 3, it's 100% on me if I say it in some stupid fucking way, because I should know better. If it's 4 and past, then I've probably never heard the Pokemon's name said out loud.
So the Flash TM does not change. It is straight up Flash because it's a field move.
Yeah, that's good, because it would kind of suck if it wasn't, and you had to go hunting through every TM in the fucking game hoping to find Flash. I'm really digging the Giga Drain animation. Charm, god damn it. Charm is such an annoying ass move.
Yeah, just don't use physical attacks, duh.
Yeah, it's fucking pain in the ass, that move. Oh my god.
Where was the other dancer? I'm trying to remember. I think he was on one of the piers?
Is this like a quest?
Kinda. You can just, like, fight 3 dancers in Castelia City and then report back to the first dancer, and he'll give you an item.
I never ended up catching Smoochum, did I?
I don't believe you did.
I mean,
if you did, you never wanted to use it.
I guess the main reason I would use a Smoochum is because Lovely Kiss is fucking awesome, but it's probably not going to learn it, so... It's not any more likely to learn it than anything else I catch. So, maybe not. I do like Jinx as a Pokemon, though.
Oops.
Ducklett. Oh god, Ducklett is one of the laziest Pokemon I've ever seen. Like,
it's a duck.
It's funny because people get so angry at me when I say, like, there's a lot of really lazy designs in 5, and what they always say, as if it's some kind of trump card, is they always say, Gen 1 had a lot of lazy ones. I'm like, yeah, that doesn't make the lazy ones in Gen 5 less lazy. You know,
Vanillite.
Yeah,
go on. Sorry.
Putting ketchup in soup sucks, and putting ketchup on ice cream sucks. Just because putting ketchup in soup sucks doesn't mean that putting ketchup on ice cream sucks less. That is entirely unrelated. I feel like that's a decent analogy. I'm proud of that
one. That's pretty good, yeah.
Yeah,
that's pretty good.
Like that is fucking unrelated. Now, if you were trying to say the designs in 5 are worse than the ones in Gen 1 or vice versa, you could make an argument there. That's personal preference, and both of them have some pretty fucking lazy ones. You could make an argument there. But if they just said, man, a lot of designs in this are shit, and you say, no, Gen 1, that is not an argument.
No, you.
You know how many times I've been called a fucking Gen 1er, by the way?
I'd imagine a lot.
What are you talking about? What generation do I make fun of more than Generation 1? Don't get me wrong, I love Gen 1, but I'm also the idiot whose second favorite game of all time is Deadly Premonition. That barely works. Like,
I think their whole mentality, is that you're bad-mouthing their favorite game, so they're gonna say, "Oh, you have an excuse for that."
Read the comments on my Bidoof challenge. They get so emotional, it is crazy. Like, some of them are totally polite, and they even will just say, like, you know, Gen 5 is my favorite, but I respect your opinion. Awesome. I'm happy that you love the games. I think Gen 5 is awesome and well-designed, and that's why people love it so much. But my gripes with it are enough to not make it my favorite. It's just as simple as that. I don't think it's bad. I think it's great. I like a lot of things. The music is awesome. Reusable TMs is awesome. A lot of Pokemon in it are awesome. A lot of Pokemon in it are also balls.
This is true.
Like, come on, some of this shit. What is that fucking dragon that looks like it's made of Lego? What the hell is that?
Dragon made of Lego.
What is that fucking multicolored, jagged-ass, ugly dragon?
Jagged-ass
It genuinely
dragon.
looks like a crayon drawing.
Which one are we referring to? You might need to be a bit more specific.
It's in Spiral Tower, I think it's called? No, is it there?
Spiral.
No, it's...
Mountain.
I think you find it past to the Ice Town. It's got like a red head, and I think the body's blue.
Oh! I know what you're talking about. Trying to remember its name.
Yeah, the
Drudagon.
The Digimon drawn with a crayon, that one.
Yes, Drudagon.
Yeah. So is it, if I were to like pull that up in the Pokédex and it describes it, is it the shitty drawn Pokemon? Because seriously, that thing sucks, and I will, like, if that's your favorite Pokemon in the world, then sure, you have your opinion and everything. I think even the laziest of Pokemon designs have something redeemable about them. Like, Muck is fucking lazy. I like the idea behind it, and I like Muck just because I like poison types. I like it as a Pokemon. But it is undoubtedly a very lazy Pokemon. They wanted a sludge Pokemon, and so it's sludge with eyes. It's pretty lazy. But that fucking dragon, man. Like, that and shit like Ducklett. Look, if we can all agree that Seal is lazy as fuck, and I agree, Seal is lazy as fuck. I like Dugong, because Dugong's got a unique name, and even though it's not the most, like...
it's a unique name that you misspelled 3 times, or you spelled differently 3 times in your script, by the way.
In my script, I spelled it wrong 3 different times. I'm bad at spelling Pokemon names. Look, here's my argument for Seal and Dugong. Seal, it sucks. It's just a seal with a horn. Stupid. Dugong, yeah, that's fine. It's got personality. If the Pokemon has personality, even if it's kind of lazy, I can forgive it. And it's got a personality. Look at his face, look at how it moves, the noise, all of that. It's got a personality to it. It's a cool Pokemon. It's got a cool name and everything. It's fun to say. Fuck it. It gets a pass. It gets a tentative pass. Guys, Ducklett. Ducklett.
I love that you just keep going back to Ducklett of all things. And this is also the same, like... in one episode, you've compared Drudagon to Ducklett and then to Seal. All 3 Pokemon being stupidly designed. And you're right, and that's what's hilarious about it.
Look, like, I'm playing the game and there's all these Pokemon that I'm into. You know, like Piplup, a little bit generic, but its evolution line, it's pretty cool. Patrat. I think Patrat looks intense and awesome, and its evolution is creepy as hell. I like those Pokemon. And then all of a sudden the next course comes by and there's fucking ketchup in my soup. What the hell is this vanilla ice cream cone? Like, what the hell's Ducklett? I'll tell you, it's a duck. It's just a duck. You want to know how to make a Pokemon out of a duck? Psyduck.
Psyduck. There you go.
It's a fucking Pokemon, and it's a duck, but it's a Pokemon first and foremost. Golduck, that's a totally different take on how you could have a psychic duck. They're totally different, and yet they're the same type. It's so creative. You can have 2 totally different Pokemon with the same typings. there's so much you can do with a duck Pokemon, and they made Ducklett. Small
Every time you say
duck.
Ducklett, it's hilarious to me.
Ducklett. It means small duck. What is it? A small duck. And don't you even try to fucking say to me, but it's blue. Ducks aren't blue. There are blue ducks. That's a thing.
There is also the argument to make that Ducklett evolves into Swanna, which is a reference to the ugly duckling evolving into a swan.
Yeah, and that is a creative idea drawn like shit. Not every.
And also, Swanna is literally just a swan.
Yeah, and see, that's another thing to do. Some people got incredibly offended that I said Reshiram is generic and boring, and I jokingly refer to it as blue eyes, no creativity, and they got very upset. And one guy linked me to a YouTube video that's like a 30-minute breakdown of how creative it is. I didn't watch it. I didn't watch it because I have better shit to do with my life, like Pokemon challenges. God, my life has said that is legitimately a better thing to do. But fuck it, you like it, so whatever. I didn't watch it, but I know that a lot of the legendaries are based on like old cave paintings and shit. And don't get me wrong, that's cool. But here's the thing, a Pokemon can have a really cool idea and still look boring as hell. Case in point, Ducklett. Its name is shit. Its design is shit. The idea of the ugly duckling becoming the beautiful swan is something you could make a really cool Pokemon with. Shame that they decided not to. Oh my god, I will not hear a defense of goddamn Ducklett. Like, look, I don't give a shit what your opinion is. You can argue with me till the day is long about opinions, and that's perfectly fine. You don't need to agree with my opinions, and I don't need to agree with yours. All I'm gonna say is, if you are vehemently defending Ducklett, I think you might be a little bit defensive about your favorite generation of Pokemon.
I cannot wait to see the comments of this video.
I'm pretty curious myself.
I'll just say, hey, the Ducklett video is up.
Yeah, just call this episode fucking Ducklett. Actually, I don't want you to get demonetized.
What are you talking about? I don't get money from YouTube.
Yeah, but you might if this playthrough gets big enough. So just call it Ducklett. There you go.
Yeah, that's my plan. I'm just gonna call it Ducklett.
Just put like 5 Enterabangs after it. And can I say that is one of the greatest words in the English language is Interrobang.
It is, and I don't know what you mean by it.
Oh, Interrobang is what it's called when you have an exclamation point followed by a question mark. The official name is Interrobang.
Nice.
Isn't that a fucking great name?
That's really cool.
Yeah. And now that you know that, you're gonna pull out that sick knowledge at all of the big parties.
God, don't you know
I gotta
it.
go to the pier. Forgot. I just realized I am ravenously hungry.
Well then.
Have I eaten today? My god, it's almost 7. I've eaten bowl of rice, steamed broccoli, and a big old chunk of like 120 grams of salmon that I seared with some olive oil. Now, don't get me wrong, that was fucking delicious. I can eat that every day of my life. And in fact, I might, because it's really good for you. However, that's in the ballpark of 400 to 500 calories, depending on how heavy I go on rice. And an adult male should probably eat more of that by 6:40 p.m. when they get up at 8 a.m. Oh, right.
Yeah, probably.
I also ate a few wheat thins.
I mean, those are good.
The thinking... Now, hold on. What is the best flavor of wheat thin? Because there's one that is significantly better than the rest.
All right, so I like reduced fat, but that's just because I have very simple tastes.
Okay. Is that your favorite?
That's the only one I really eat on the regular, so I haven't had much opportunity to try many others. Hint of salt I think I've tried, but I didn't like it.
So I'm also the kind of guy who tends to like quite plain flavored things. I do like some wacky flavored things out there. Fellow Canadians, if you're into chips, like I'm big into chips, then we all know the amazingness that is President's Choice, Worlds of Flavor, Grease. what a wacky flavored and delicious one. Greece as in like the country, not like, it's not flavored like Greece.
Right, also that's my other name.
My favorite Wheat Thin though, and they are fucking phenomenal. Sponsored by Wheat Thins, powered at the player, everybody. Multigrain. Oh man, those multigrain, they're like all toasted up and there's like a just enough salt on it. Probably too much salt, but just enough salt on it. Let me look at
just like the amount of people in your comments section saying that Gen 5 is actually better than you're giving it credit for.
Oh god, no, there's way too much salt on that. Like seriously, for every
yeah,
polite, for every like really polite comment I get about that, and that's totally cool. Like I like seeing dissenting opinions because it changes my mind sometimes. I like dissenting opinions. The vast majority of them are being really shitty about it. Like genuinely mean. And then they call me mean, like, and they act like it's a personal affront. Like a statement I've seen like probably a dozen times now is the direct words of, "You cut me or this cut me deep." I didn't do anything to you, dude. I don't know you.
I don't think I could support a series that disses my favorite Pokemon generation anymore.
That's a crazy one that I get a lot is I watched all your previous playthrough or your previous challenges, but I can't support you anymore. Like the entitlement of saying God like, damn. I'm a supporter of you. I support you, but I will not anymore because your opinion is different from mine. Like, look, I appreciate that you watch my channel. That's awesome. I'm happy that you like it. And that matters to me, that you took the time to watch my show. I spent a lot of time on it. I'm happy you did that. But look, I'm not entitled to anything from you, and you're not entitled to anything from me. I make the show because I like the show, and you do not owe me your time. You should only watch it if you want to watch it. You owe me nothing. Likewise, I owe you nothing. You are, this is not someone pulling their support from me. This is you have decided you would no longer to watch the channel. Don't be entitled about it. Oh, people sometimes.
Right?
God, I'm making you a free show. Watch it if you want to watch it. It's not that difficult.
Don't if you don't.
Exactly. No one has to like my channel. No one has to watch my channel. Dislike it and move on. It's fine. That's what the dislike button's for.
Unfortunately, that also gives people the idea that, oh, it's actually not that good a video if more people do it.
In fairness, there's that, but whatever. I don't mind. If it's got a lot of dislikes, it's got a lot of dislikes. Whatever. If people don't like my video, people don't like my video. Maybe I'll do better with the next one, and I think I do, because a lot of people who give really honest and really what came across as like not at all trying to be mean or not at all being overly emotional ones. A lot of people said they didn't like the video because it was very negative, and it was, and I didn't mean for it to be so negative. I should have talked about the positives more. I agree with that. That's a really good criticism that would bring down the enjoyment. And a lot of them said, like, I'm going to watch your next one, and I hope it's more positive. And to them, I always say, yeah, next one, the Pokemon Red trade one, really positive. I had a lot of fun doing it. And I make fun of the game a shitload in it because, like, there's, like, 4 separate times that the trainer tries to heal themselves with a full health Pokemon. And, like, there's all kinds of fucking programming quirks that I rip on mercilessly, but it's so stupid, it's funny. So, like, it's not like it's bringing me down. It's funny how stupid it is.
Like, I hope people are able to pick up that you are, in fact, joking when it comes to that.
That's the thing. People have a hard time with my sarcasm. And I think part of it is, this is a common problem with Canadians that I find who live on the East Coast.
That's racist. Go on.
Yes. They are hate criming me. So, what you need to understand about Ontario is the majority of people who live in Ontario, which is the most populated province of Canada, statistics-wise, Canadian-born Canadians is the second highest population here by a sliver. We're actually beaten by a sliver by people who have moved in from England. And the East Coast never truly fully lost that whole like British culture to some degree. We still have kind of close ties. So although we are very much our own thing, our sense of humor is very self-deprecating, very sarcastic, very dry. And you can probably tell that by how I talk. And also I grew up in a household where especially my mother is really into British culture. In fact, she travels to London quite often as part of the Freemasons Guild. And so, because of this, Canadians, we sound like Americans, mostly. A lot of people can't tell the difference, some people can. But we generally sound way more American than we sound British. But we have a very British sense of humor. And when you hear that dry sarcasm coming from an accent that's not British, you don't necessarily assume that it's sarcasm. And so, a lot of people seem to get the wrong impression from us. Like, the stereotype about Canadians being like super, super polite, we generally are quite polite. However, our sense of humor is still very dry and cynical. And so, you know, the thing is we are generally nice and kind here, but not generally like over the top sweet, if that makes sense. Mm-hmm. We have good intention, but we likely are still very dry and sarcastic. We do our kindness not through words, but through actions, whereas, like, the maritime provinces, those are the ones who say, like, a boot and stuff like that, the islands. They are very nice and say it through their words and actions. They are just, like, sickly sweet to a ridiculous degree, and I crash.
Good.
When I save. I saved upon joining this town, so I'm not too far behind.
And I think it was like 20 minutes ago where you said you should be saving more often.
Yep.
And then you started going on a rant and never stopped.
Yep, I forgot to because I was in a rant. I think now might be a good time to end this recording session. Between recording sessions, I will catch up to where I was, and I will bind save to one of my shoulder buttons that I don't use so that I can obsessively save.
Sounds like a plan.
Yeah, that sounds good. This will have gotten us another 2 or 3 or 500 episodes. And, yeah. And then I'll go work on the Pokemon challenge.
Sounds like a plan. I just got out of battle, too, so it's a good time to finish. Thanks
Perfect
for
time
watching. Thanks for watching and listening to mah-dry rant.
That's what this session was.